What is the crack, everyone? It's Nathan here, aka the Rambling Kern, and head instructor of Kern School of Combat. If you're interested in lessons in Irish martial arts, you'll find links down in the description. You'll be able to do classes with me in person or classes online through my Patreon program if that's something you're interested in. So, this video is going to be part of a series. I wanted to do kind of a build-along series to show you guys what the process is like for me behind the scenes, and then I'll compile it all into a finished video when I have everything done at the end. This is going to be quite a fun series for me. I was first made aware of this by a weaver friend of mine, who I hope to do some videos with this coming summer. But I was made aware of the Clonura shield, which is basically a small area in the Midlands in Ireland, and this is a fascinating shield. So it basically dates somewhere around kind of 30 to 60 AD, in kind of pre-Christian Ireland, right smack in the centre of the not the Bronze Age, right in smack bang in the centre of the Iron Age. This is a fascinating find for multiple reasons. One of the most important reasons being it was almost fully intact when it was found. And I'm going to bring up images as is tradition. The shield itself is fascinating. So it shows sign of wear and tear, of actual use in battle. There's very clear blade marks on it. Not likely that those marks are from arrows, even though they might be arrow shaped. I would say they're more likely to be spear marks, but that is something I do plan on testing out when I have the shield finished. If anyone knows me, you'll know that I don't like to just have weapons to hang around. I like to actually test them and use them for their purpose. I always view weapons as tools, and tools should be used, unless they're too pretty to be used, in which case it's not a tool anymore. So the purpose of this series is to do a build along and show you the kind of process. So the interesting things around the shield, the dimensions are very small. So it is roughly 1 foot by 2 foot. And the process of actually getting the wood for it was quite difficult. So the shield itself is made from alder. Alder is not the rarest of woods, but it's quite difficult to get alder in Ireland. To get any sort of timber of decent quality in Ireland is quite difficult. If anyone's been following my boat making series, you'll know how difficult it has been for me to source any sort of wood. So what I did was go on a very deep dive trying to find suitable wood that I could use. I found a few good companies in the UK, ordered from one. Unfortunately, due to Brexit and shipping, they basically just weren't able to deliver the wood, and it was returned before it even got across the channel. So unfortunate, I had to keep looking. And what I actually found instead was that alder is quite a popular wood for making electric guitar bodies. Now, this is the great part for me and also for you guys, should you wish to make your own, which is part of why I want to do this series, so to actually show you guys how to do and make these things. So like I said, the shield itself is quite small. It's roughly, I believe it's 36 centimeters by 52 centimeters. I'll get the actual figures up on screen. Should check that before the video. But what I was able to order is 1 centimeter smaller. Now, I don't think that's going to factor in too much. The shield itself is made from a singular piece of wood as well. So it's not overlapping layers, it's not planks or anything like that. It's a singular piece that has been carved from. But it is quite a small shield. I'm going to show you the wood right now. So, this is our piece of wood, our lovely piece of European alder. This was provided to me by Espen, DE. I'm going to put a link to them in the description. A lovely piece of wood. Great price for what it is, well seasoned, arrived straight to the door. They were wonderful to deal with. I'm not sponsored, but I've also ordered a load of bow wood and laminates and stuff for making bows from them. So if you're interested in any of that sort of stuff and you live in Ireland and struggling to find these things, I'd highly recommend you go and check them out. Let them know I sent you. So this wood, like I said, not the most difficult thing to get, but was somewhat difficult. Now, this shield, unlike what you'd be expecting to see, is, like I said, it's quite small. It's only 1 foot by 2 foot. This is not uncommon in the area at the time. So Some of our earliest depictions of Irish warriors, and one of the earliest ones I know of is from the Book of Kells, which shows a spearman with a very small round shield and a spear. I don't know of any earlier depictions of Irish warriors. If you guys know of any, please let me know. I'd love to put some up on the channel and make people aware of them, but I don't actually know of any. Now this shield is quite interesting. It's not in the construction many people would expect, where it is a wooden planks with a iron or steel boss. This one actually has a wooden boss. So thanks to Espen as well again, I ordered a bowl blank, which is pretty much the exact size I need for making this. This was very cheap and really great price, and is the exact sort of dimensions I need. So the boss itself is made from alder as well. It has an oak handle, and the leather on the shield itself is stretched over it and then stitched into the boss and around the edges. So that will be a later process of finding suitable leather and getting to work on that. So if you want to sponsor my work and make this more affordable for me to do, again, you'll find the Patreon, or there is a donation button down there. Now, like I said, the shields in the area tend to be quite small, and Paul MacDonald of MacDonald Armories over in Scotland has done fantastic work researching Pictish shields. I'm going to bring up some images of some of the work and recreations he's done over the years. These are a very prime and great example of the sort of small shields that you'll find, and these are based on artwork that he's reconstructed. Fantastic work that he's done. He's an amazingly talented weaponsmith, but you will notice again with all these, they're quite small. These are very small shields, so it seems to be amongst the people in this area. And don't forget, at that time Scotland and Ireland had a massive trade back and forth, and people coming and going back and forth. It seems to be that spear and small shield was the predominant popular weapon choice. Now, how much we know about that and how much I can go into saying that is indeed a fact or whatever, there isn't really concrete evidence to say otherwise, but that seems to be inclination as to what is popular. At least is what we see depicted. And there is definitely references once we get to like the Viking Age that the Irish did have a preference for shield and spear. The Irish were kind of notorious for using spears. Now, the person I would really like to thank you is Nathan Schneider. I've also linked his website down in the description, where he has some images of reconstructions he's done. Again, images will be brought up of those. He did one as part of his masters, and fantastic work. Just a huge thank you to him. He provided me with all the information I needed to put this together and get everything that I needed for it. You will see from one of the reference images here that the shield is domed, so it is sloping away on the front and it is domed on the inside, and it has an oak handle offset, so it's not in the center of the shield. I will touch on the whys of that when I get to actually making it and testing it, but it's an important thing to note. It's not dead in the center, and that is a very, very important reason for that. And before anyone asks, at the time the Irish were rather large, quite tall people. The diet in Ireland at the time was actually quite good, very heavily dairy based. So it's not a case that these people were just tiny people and weren't able to hold big shields. They were by no means tiny little people. This is clearly a preference for what they enjoy doing, or their preference for fighting, I should say. So, like I said, this is part one. Next week I'm going to start marking out and carving the shield. I am not going to do this by hand. Simply put, I don't have the tools for it. And if I was to do it by hand, one, it would take quite a while. I don't mind doing that. But simply put, it would just cost me double or triple the amount to buy the tools I would need to be able to carve it by hand. What I'm going to do is power carve it. Basically use a carving disc on an angle grinder and use that to carve out the shield. I'm going to start on that next week. If you're interested in seeing that, you'll find my social media down below. You'll see regular updates on that. And of course, if you're interested in more information around the shield or on this topic, feel free to get in touch. Let me know what you think. If you guys like this sort of series, let me know. This, like I said, will be kind of a weekly build along, let you know how I'm getting on with it. I do hope to get this finished, hopefully relatively soon, but life always finds a way. And hopefully the audio is better on this one. I found an issue with the my mics, so I've bought new cables in, and hopefully everything should be fixed. So once again, thank you all so much for watching. It's going to be a very fun series. Really looking forward to doing it and bring you guys along for the journey. And like I said, I'll do a full build video right at the end. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. I'm really closing into that 7,000. I really want to try to get it done the next month or so. Thank you very much for watching, and slán.